Could you name the hottest footwear trend, accounting for billions, that's with a B, of dollars in annual sales? Chances are your kids know exactly what we're talking about. It's sneakers, all part of the massive sneaker culture that we're zeroing in on this week's show. Our jumping off point gives you a sneaker sample. Our video team stopping by a sneaker convention to find out what fuels fanatics. Then the series that inspired this episode, Sneaker Stories. FGCU's basketball team is known for winning, but players also get a few style points for their shoes. We'll have those stories along with the latest in our Positively Healthy Medical series. I'm Amy Osher, and this is Behind the Headlines. I'm Amy Osher. Thanks for joining us. You hear about people spending long hours in line to buy the latest tech gadget, maybe setting an alarm to get up in the middle of the night for an online sale. But another item creates tons of buzz on the street and billions in sales. New or used, the sneaker market is kicking it.
It's actually a big community. The thing is, it doesn't get exposed as much because it's not Miami, Tampa, Orlando. But there are sneakerheads here. There are people that collect shoes. There are people that want to be a part of this. There are people that from Naples that go to Miami that I see in Tampa, we see in Orlando. And, you know, it's good to bring it here so they can come here. They can, you know what I mean, come together as a community. So it's been really good to bring everybody together.
Like I said, some people collect sports memorabilia. Some people collect cars, you know. Whatever it is, it's their thing. They have their own niche in the community. Shoes are my niche.
Well, everybody thinks that females don't know about sneakers. Everybody's just like, oh, boys can only do it, when that's not really true. There's girls that actually do love it.
Man, you already know, man. We came over here getting rid of some, trying to get some new ones now.
It's definitely different than what I grew up with. However, I can say that, you know, it truly makes being in touch with the music. Really, we have a lot of great conversations about life in general.
When everyone was buying shoes and selling it, it was $90 on the shelf, $100 on the shelf, and you could walk in a Foot Locker, you could buy it and put it on. Now that the hype is so high, you can't just walk into a Foot Locker and get the shoes that you want to get. You have to wait in line. You have to make the connections in order to get the shoes that you want.
Ken Faye Marodi from the News Press shot that video. I believe you did that at Soul Fest a few years back when it swung through Collier County?
Correct.
Can you kind of describe what the sneaker culture is all about?
Well, the sneaker culture is fun, it's exuberant, it's colorful to say the least.
And it's big.
It's big, and it could be a little bit competitive, you know, because everybody wants to get that limited edition sneaker. But I think the bigger takeaway from the sneaker culture is that the shoes reflect the way people feel about themselves, the way they feel about, you know, their city, the way they feel about their favorite basketball player. And so, like, for a lot of us, the shoes are a chance to express something about our personality that maybe we don't do in any other way.
I was looking up some statistics, and it said like a $22 billion industry. So that shows it's not just kids, it's adults, it's women, guys like you, professionals. Who really is involved that you can get those kind of monster numbers?
Well, a sneakerhead can be anybody who has money and enjoys sneakers, but you're right. The sneakerhead community is made up of teenagers and doctors, lawyers, journalists like myself, you know, stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads. Everybody that really enjoys, I think, sneakers, they make up the sneakerhead community and the sneaker culture. But in terms of numbers, it is a numbers-driven business right now as well. Adidas and Jordan Brand and Nike are all competing for the dollars that are being spent, and sometimes a shoe can release that initially costs $200, and you may say, wow, that's a lot of money, but the next day that shoe could be resold.
The secondary market I saw is huge as well. The secondary
market, that shoe can resell for $1,000.
What I thought neat about it too is it kind of started with the cool kids,
right?
You know, and basketball, right. And now it's gone on way beyond here. And now these are some of your favorites.
Sure.
And you said very few basketball shoes in this collection.
Right. Okay. I'm 47. I'm kind of an old head, so I wear a shoe that's based on how I feel. So if I'm feeling kind of exuberant, I might wear like these Diodora Olympic style shoes that I have that I bought in honor of a local boxer, Tierra Brown, who was going for the Olympics. And they're red and gold and blue, and they have the American flag on the back, and they're pretty cool. I like those a lot.
A lot of these collectibles.
Yes, they are, like the Tiffany speaker, like the Tiffany
Get to the
sneakers.
Tiffany. All the ladies will love the Tiffany.
So these are a pair of New Balance Tiffany shoes that were part of a collaboration with a sneaker shop in New York called Concepts. And that sneaker boutique got with New Balance, and they created a Tiffany-esque sneaker. The short story behind this sneaker is that way back in the day, Tiffany & Company designed the crest for New York City, and they used the teal color and the silver metal color. The New York Yankees saw that, and for just a very short time, they used these as their team colors.
Wow.
And so last year, they honored that story and re-released this shoe.
Was it really hard to get that one? How
Extremely
did you get it?
hard
Did
to
you get it in a store? Or did you
well,
get it
the way
online?
you buy shoes now primarily is online. So Concept says this shoe will drop online at 10 o'clock on Saturday. Now, what happens is people use computer bots to go and try to buy up the inventory. So either you are on that team or you're on the team of doing it with your finger, and pray to God you get it. I'm on the doing it with your finger team.
Somehow I figured that.
Exactly, and it's something about getting it, and then I was able to purchase them for about $185. On the resale market, immediately I could have flipped it for about $600 to $700. Another one of my favorites that has an interesting story behind it, I would have to be the Asics Gel Light 3. There's a famous rapper named Wale, and he loved wrestling, in particular the Macho Man Randy Savage, and he was the Intercontinental Champion. And so Wale asked Asics to make a shoe that was reflective of the Intercontinental Championship belt.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm a big wrestling fan, and I was a big Macho Man Randy Savage fan. That was good. I'm a big supporter of social causes, and there's a shop in New York called Rise, and they made a shoe called New York is for Lovers. The proceeds from that shoe went to support AIDS. And so that's why the shoe is all red and has a little bit of speckles on it.
That is nice.
And one last one, I probably would go with the Nike.
Yeah, I do like that one.
Yeah, this is a retro shoe that was brought back this year. It's an Air Max 97 Silver Bullet. Came out about maybe 10 or 15 years ago, extremely streamlined. It has 3M piping on it, so when the lights go out, it glows around here.
Oh, nice.
And it was just a futuristic shoe that's kind of George Jetson-esque.
How I kind of thought of this whole series is your series on the FGCU players. I know some of them aren't there anymore, but it kind of got you going because they really got some attention because of their really fancy kicks.
Exactly. I'm a sneakerhead, and I recognized that they were sneakerheads. So one day I said, hey guys, you know, why don't you come and show me some of your collections after practice? Nothing fancy. We're not going to bring any fancy lights. Just bring your shoes. Put them really at ease. And then I got a chance to talk to Julian DeBose, Rajon Tucker, and Demetrius Morant. All three of them spoke to what it means to be in the sneaker culture. It's more about a brotherhood. They would exchange sneakers with one another, even if it's a grail, you know, something that's really, really hard to get. If Rajon wanted to wear it, Julian would say, okay, go ahead and you can wear it. And so it was really fun. And those guys, they had several national websites, sneaker websites, ranked their Air Jordan collection as the best collection in all of college basketball.
Well, we really love the series, and we're going to show it to our viewers right now.
I'm Julian DeBose, senior shooting guard out of Florida Gulf Coast, originally from Washington, D.C. Let's talk some Heat. Space Jam Jordans, these are my favorite, 11s. I got these my senior year of high school. These are a replica of what Jordan wore in the Olympics one year. I just like the 7s, you know, period. They're comfortable to hoop in, like the colorway, represent my country. Matter of fact, I got a chance to represent my country this summer in the university games. All my DC natives stand up. We got the penny foam posits right here. These the pewters. I got these my senior season of high school. And it's just a great shoe. You know, you from DC, you know, you rock these every day. Got about 4 or 5 pair. I'm lucky to have these. I like the ice bottoms, you know, the infrared right there. These just also a classic sneak. I love the cement. I love the little accents of red. It's just a, you know, real classic shoe for me. You know, I have like 3 or 4 pair of 3s, and it's probably my favorite Jordan. Apparently, Meech thinks I'm gonna give these away to him when I graduate. Apparently, he thinks that's a ritual, but unfortunately, that's not gonna happen. But he'll have a few more months to stare at them. It's not many teams out there, other than teams sponsored by Jordan. You know, they get their shoes handed to them. Instead, we go out. You know, this is a real life thing, man. We live our life based on this.
I'm Rajon Tucker, guard for Florida Gulf Coast University, 6'5", from Charlotte, North Carolina. These are my kicks. These are the first pair of shoes that I played in when I first got here, the Bull over Broadways. When I first got them, they were like love to me. I was like, I'm never gonna play in them. And then I started wearing them. I was like, man, I gotta try. They too comfortable for me not to try them. So these are the loves right here. These are the first ones that I ever played in here. Something fresh. Just pulled these out. I hoop in these every now and then. Actually copped these from my boy Julian. He let me borrow these for a little bit. So every now you gotta stunt in some retros, something different, something classy, just a little flaunt, show off, you know, just a little extra something for the ladies, you know, everything. Actually, me and Julian had went to the Nike store to look for some shoes that day because it was a red out. So we're going to look for some red shoes at the Nike store or whatever. And I'm looking around and he runs up to me like, yo, Ray, yo, they got the 20s over here. I'm like, nah, son, you lying. So we walk over there, I'm like, yo, got to cop these. Like, I have to. Like, it's no way that I'm not leaving out this store without getting these. So I put them on, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna style out in these. Like, I'm not even gonna play, just like the Bulls. So we go up to New Jersey, and my 11s, my Georgetowns, ripped during practice. I'm like, man, I don't got no other shoes but my 20s. Like, oh, I don't want to play in them. So I'm contemplating calling people up there because I got family in Jersey. Like, man, I'm gonna have to play in these. So I throw these on and hoop out. So ever since then, I've been hooping in these too. So it was a little festival going on outside, and I got these on, you know, stunting and flossing for the crowd, you know, and people want to start hooping. Like, man, y'all must be crazy if y'all think I'm gonna hoop in my Landis. I just got these like 2 weeks ago. You never know when the game gonna break out, so I had to hoop in them once. And ever since then, I just wear them whenever I want to go out, or I hoop in them every now and then.
Life here is amazing, and so is the joint care. At the Total Joint Center at Physicians Regional Healthcare System, we've changed the experience of joint replacement for good. With our comprehensive joint care program, most hip and knee replacement patients return home in just 2 days, because we know you want to get on with your active life. Pain-free living starts at Physicians Regional Medical Center, Collier Boulevard, and Physicians Regional Medical Center, Pine Ridge.
Hiring the right moving company is important. Best Moving and Storage is a family-owned and operated business serving Southwest Florida for over 22 years. From our free in-home estimate until the last piece of furniture is in your new place or stored in our climate-controlled warehouse, we treat you like family. Best Moving and Storage is fully licensed and insured, with all of our employees being certified drivers and packers. When it comes to protecting your treasured belongings, choose a company that's experienced and trustworthy. Call Best Moving and Storage today at 239-592-6565.
My name is Steve Unser, and cabinetry is my specialty. I have been creating custom designed cabinetry for 20 years in Southwest Florida, and now I am celebrating the grand opening of our new Naples showroom. Steve Unser Cabinetry will help you design your kitchen, bath, or home office with stunning results, offering the best quality of cabinets with a wide variety of design options and pricing to fit any budget. If your kitchen isn't becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Now, 2 locations to serve you.
Not surprising, most people don't want to speak about hemorrhoids. It's a personal and painful problem, but they don't have to suffer in silence. There are several approaches to treatment. Here's more in our Positively Healthy report. Hemorrhoids are perfectly natural. They're veins specific to the rectal region that take blood flow back to the heart. They do their work undercover without notice unless they become swollen.
So to some degree, everybody has hemorrhoids, but in some patients they're more prominent than others and more bothersome than in others, and they can cause symptoms which include pain, bleeding, itching.
Despite their bothersome nature, people may avoid or delay treatment.
Many patients don't feel very comfortable talking about them, so they don't really seek help from their medical professionals.
In years past, doctors relied more on surgery to remove hemorrhoids. Now they have several less invasive options, including a painless alternative that doesn't involve cutting. It's called rubber band ligation.
It's done in the office without any type of sedation, and it takes all of about 2 minutes to do, really.
The rubber band is inserted through the rectum just past the hemorrhoid.
And the way it works is that rubber band that's been applied causes a small sore to occur, and as that sore heals, it lays down scar tissue, and the scar tissue prevents blood flow to the hemorrhoid, causing the hemorrhoid to shrivel up and shrink down.
It may take 3 treatments in the region to get full relief. It can be done on a lunch break and doesn't require downtime.
So it's a very effective but yet simple technique.
The banding method is a non-surgical and pain-free option, giving hemorrhoid sufferers well-deserved comfort. A Naples-based nonprofit may be a shoo-in for Best Sneaker Charity. To date, the group has collected and given out shoes to more than 100,000 students in Collier and Lee County. Jean Nealon and Susie Warren co-founded Laces of Love. Its sole purpose is to provide sneakers to local kids who need them. The pair formed a nonprofit in 2005, and since then they've been up to their ears in laces and tongues. Our reporter Ashley Collins says these 2 former teachers saw a way to better the lives of their students.
Well, Jeannie Nealon was a teacher, and she basically one day had to take one of her students home. And she realized that where the student lived was not the greatest place. You know, it's not what you think of when you think of Naples. He lived in a rundown kind of home. His sneakers didn't fit. His sneakers were in really poor condition. And she thought if only she could give him shoes that he could wear and he'd be comfy at school, then she could make a difference in his life. And it kind of led from there.
Laces of Love is now a thriving charity helping more than 100,000 kids and counting. You can read more about them and how you can help their mission by checking our archives for Ashley Collins' story at naplesnews.com. Brent Batten is always up to speed on the latest happening. This is his weekly commentary.
Thanks, Amy. So we're back to calling them sneakers now. Good. Many years ago, canvas shoes with rubber soles were commonly called sneakers. I guess because they didn't squeak or click when you walked around in them. You could sneak up on people. Early sneakers included the Red Ball Jet and the US Keds Pro, but they soon were supplanted by the Converse All-Star carrying the name of Chuck Taylor, a professional basketball player turned shoe salesman. Sneakers were no longer cool. We started calling them basketball shoes. Then they became tennis shoes. This was back when people actually played tennis, mind you. When running became big, we started calling them running shoes. The marketers figured out that if you named a shoe for just one sport, you limited your customer base. They started calling them cross-training shoes instead, meaning you could wear the shoes while playing different sports. Genius. But before long, Michael Jordan met Nike and the basketball shoe was reborn, and in a big way. These days, you're not an NBA star until you have your own ridiculously overpriced shoes. Lonzo Ball, I wonder if he's any relation to Red Ball, is trying to take it to a whole new level by getting his own ridiculously overpriced shoes even before he's an NBA star. It's gotten to the point where it's impossible to keep up with the Joneses or the Jordans or the Jameses when it comes to buying the most current and expensive basketball shoe. That's reason enough to welcome back the humble sneaker. I'm Brent Batten. Be sure to read my columns on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays in the Naples Daily News. Check me out on Twitter and Facebook. And as always, thanks for watching.
For a better lifestyle, shop Bears. Bears has been in business for 70 years. We're really proud of that. Whatever look you want for your home, whether it's Pan-Asian, contemporary, tropical, coastal, cottage, Bears will have it for you. Bears promises to give you the best value for your money. We'll have what you want and we'll make you happy. That's the Bear family promise.
The area's only 30 minutes or less ER service pledge means you'll find less waiting for the care you need. And because we're full service hospitals, a lot more care if you need it. Less waiting, faster care. Only at Physicians Regional Healthcare System.
Is your auto insurance keeping pace with your life? Ask for a AAA Triple Check Insurance Review to see if your current policy is still a good fit. An agent will assess changes in your life, like new vehicles or drivers. Make sure you've got the right coverage and all the discounts you deserve. They'll also see how a AAA membership can round out your protection on the road. Plus, provide roadside assistance, discounts, free services, and vacation extras. Ask for your AAA Triple Check today.
Are you one of those people who visit model homes just to see the latest in home decor? Many people do, and it's no wonder, since they get your creative juices flowing. In this week's Inspired Living, design expert Kathy Smith and I check out a Bears model home to give you tips on living rooms. Kathy and I are continuing to explore this model at Vista Point in Vineyards. And what I really like about this condo is it's very representative of a lot of our condos down here, where it's a smallish footprint, but you want to get a lot of space in. Can you talk about this living area?
What this living area does is, in a small space, it gives you a beautiful transitional look. Your statement piece is this long sofa that has a chaise on it. That's your statement piece, and as so many people are doing today, they're doing a neutral body fabric for the body of the sectional, and then they'll do pillows that will bring in and tie in all the other design elements. And these pillows have the contrast, the dark gray contrast, as well as the geometric, which brings in the draperies and brings in the rug. So the whole design plan flows beautifully. There's a geometric pillow on a very neutral yet different fabric on this chair and ottoman. And then she put in a splash of fun, which Janet always does, with this little very mini leopard chair over here. And as you can see, everything here is,
it really does coordinate
does coordinate, and it's also square, and transitional and square shape goes together and is married perfectly.
So she got a lot in terms of design elements, but even her selections, like this cocktail table, is very open,
it's
so
very
it's not
open,
clunky.
and that's what you want in a small space. Glass is perfect for a small space like that. Not a lot of going on as far as carving or anything. You want it very clean, very transitional, as well as the console against the wall and the mirrors, and again, the square shape, which is transitional style.
I think when we look in terms of footprint and layout, there's always where you put your furniture exactly, and here it's on the rug slightly.
The best layout for a rug and for a room is to have the furniture just on the rug by about maybe a foot. That's because it's anchored, it feels anchored.
Well, she did a wonderful job, and it's really a lot of great ideas that you can put to use in your home. Now on to the well-worn. The Nike brand's been a dominant player in the sneaker industry, fueled in part by its basketball shoes. This year, the company celebrated 30 years of the iconic Air Max. Here's a throwback on the shoe's history from the USA Today.
Nike Air Max Day is the biggest sneaker holiday of the year. I think it pays a lot of homage to all the great key styles and silhouettes that Nike's kind of designed throughout the years. Right here we have the Nike Air Max 1, and that was something that was crazy and innovative, and no one thought it was going to work. You only basically had very hard, thick, glued midsoles and just very hard foam. And the idea that you can actually visibly see the cushioning system in a shoe was like out of this world. Looking over to, like, say the 97, for example, we kind of expanded what that airbag looked like, and you can see through here. It kind of slowly got a little bit bigger and bigger, and you can see the real technology kind of coming to life. And this year we're celebrating the 30th anniversary with the new
Nike Air Vapor Max. It's our most flexible, our lightest Air Max ever created. And these airbags have been in the progress for over 7 years. And you actually get the sensation of being right underneath air. Up top, we have a very light flying upper. It gives you that sock-like feel. But where a typical Air Max is usually in that 14-ounce range, we're able to get it under 10 ounces.
It appeals to everyone. It's just like, it's a shoe you can't go wrong. It's a classic.
That will cap off this edition of Behind the Headlines. Thank you for stopping by. You can always catch up on past shows by logging on to naplesnews.com. On the left-hand side under Quick Links, select Behind the Headlines. I'm Amy Osher. See you back here next week.